Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to tonight's round of the Bump and Run ARCA Super Series here on iRacing. Coming at you live from the virtual windy plains of Joliet, Illinois, this 1.5-mile oval of Chicagoland Speedway. Tonight we have 100 lights, 100 laps under the lights here tonight. It may sound pretty straightforward there as I get my tongue all twisted up, but there is plenty of strategy here on the table tonight. Before we start to take a look at strategy and fuel runs and all that, we'll take a look at the upcoming schedule here for the B&R ARCA Super Series. Here we are tonight at Chicagoland. Next week we'll be live from the high banks of Talladega, one of my home tracks there, August 23rd, Texas Motor Speedway. Then live from Auto Club, a little bit of left and right turning action from Lime Rock Park, September 6th. Daytona, September 13th, Kansas, September 20th, and IRP, September 20th, Indianapolis Raceway Park to round out the series schedule. All right, now before we get live to virtual trackside action, take a look at Bud Shear out here, guys. He continues to lead us up here in the points. Although I do say lead, it's very close. Got Brandon Morris there, still up there, well within fighting distance of the the points leader. Charles Van Schwick right up there at P3 in the points. That's no surprise there with the season that Charles Van Schwick has had so far. Sean Judson, Dale Rapp, Austin Mice, Anthony Lane, Brian Huntley Jr., Travis Farmer, and Bill Hales rounding out the top drivers in the points. Now we can do it. Woohoo! Welcome in, race fans, live in Stam Studio Network. My name is Sean Stam. Tonight we have 100 laps of Chicagoland racing action in these ARCA Series cars. Real quick though, hey, director, producer, commentator, I'm an octopus down here doing everything, about 20 things at once here. These drivers are about to do 20 things at once as they do battle. Real quick, before we get started, appreciate all these drivers that have joined in this race league, as well as that are about to do battle for the race fans tonight. And there, I said it. Thank you all, race fans, joining in live on Sam Studio Network. If you're joining in on the vertical broadcast, be sure you mosey your way over toward the horizontal broadcast. And if you're already here horizontal land, be sure you press that little gear icon. You can bump the quality up here to 1440p. You're going to see the whites of these drivers' eyes as they head down the start-finish straight. We'll take a look at our starting grid here. It's going to be a pretty close battle. These times were very close in practice. I know it's a pretty draft-heavy track here, but Charles Van Schwick out of Goat Locker Racing going to slap it out there up on the pole. Bud Shearer, Xavier Salgado, Brandon Moore, Sean Justin, John Holliday, Willie B. Roberts, Austin Mice, Anthony Lane, Travis Farmer, Christoph Hall, Dale Rapp rounding out the top 12. Robert Armall, Samuel Blackwell III, Paul Lawson, Chris Campbell, Kevin Roy, and Robert Chiswick rounding out the 18 driver field here tonight. So real quick, as we take another look at the kind of Google Earth camera shot, we can start to see this track. Google Earth is trying to do it everything it can. It's all of its justice to try and show the progressive banking here tonight from Chicagoland. This is one of my favorite tracks on the iRacing service. Quite frankly, here, boys and girls, I think we're about to see why. Let me know who your race picks to win are here tonight. As we got Charles Van Swick, he's going to lead us up here to the green. Oh, that's real nice. Okay. I think my graphics, timing, and scoring has just crashed on me here. I'll be right back with you here on SSN. Oh. Okay, there we go. We fixed it. Boy, all right, just in time. You race fans, you have waited a week for some bump and run ARCA series action here. Go ahead, crank it up, get up, stand up for your life right now. Don't give up the fight as Charles Van Swick, Bud Shearier leads us down into turn one. So far, so smooth up here in the front of the pack. We're going to see the momentum start to play a really big key here, even though it's only the first lap of the race. Here, look at Charles Van Swick, dives it down to the inside in turn number 3, coming out of 4 here. Watch the slide job, watch as he drifts up the track here. Charles Van Swick, Bud Shearier, side by side. Here comes Brandon Moore, as well as Davian Salgado trying to join the battle as well. Nice clean start here, something that we come to sort of expect within the bump and run, both Cup and ARCA series. Look at these runs start to form here along the backstretch, heading into turn 3. Look at Austin Mice, he works his way 3 spots since the drop of the green flag. How about Travis Farmer making the high line work? Here comes Charles Van Swick down the inside. Charles, he's going to lose all that speed and momentum that he built up off of exit turn number 4. Here comes Xavier Salgado continuing to run right where the number 20 Toyota Camry started this race. Chevy SS leading Ford Mustang, and then Toyota Camry. How about that? 3 different manufacturers represented in the top 3. Continue to tick off some laps pretty quick here. Charles Van Swick knows that these laps will go fast. You blink and look at that. We're already 5 laps in. Charles Van Swick trying to do everything he can to get to the rear bumper as Dale Rapp. I think that was actually, Sean Judson there. Actually, no, that was Willie B. Roberts who got loose as a caboose there coming out of 2. Sorry, there's so many drivers out there on the track tonight. We're working with 18. I was focusing up there at the front of them at the start of this race, but right now, I don't think you want to be in the hornet's nest back here. Respectfully, 10th on back here on board with Christoph Hall, newer racer with us this weekend. Driver out of Pensacola, Florida. Been there one too many times. Love the old Pensacola area. If you guys are ever around there, be sure you hit up Pensacola Beach. I think, what is that, 5 Flag Speedway over there within that same area. We're working with speeds well up above some short track racing here tonight as we hop back on board with Christoph here. Look at bottom right, 180 miles an hour into turn 1 in these ARCA Menards cars. Looks like Christoph's going to get set and stopped on the inside lane, because here comes Anthony Lane around the outside lane. Driver out of Silver Fox Racing, I believe it is team owner there for 81. Anthony Lane, he started up here in P9. He's worked his way, but unfortunately fell back to P10. Only lost 1 spot here. That's no harm, no foul there. It's Anthony Lane's. Really, you can, as long as you're up there within the top probably 8 or 10, I would say you have a chance coming towards at least towards lap 7 and 8 now. I know we're just now getting this race started, but man, you blink and you're gonna miss it here. Battles up in front, battle for the race lead once again, Charles Van Swick. Here comes Bud Shearer. He's gonna look down the inside. That's Charles Van Swick down the inside, cutting off the apron. That is legal here at Chicagoland, unlike Daytona and Talladega. No, we're not super speedway racing here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We are cookie cutter racing it up, 1.5 miles, still side by side for the race lead. This is why Chicagoland presents itself as one of my favorite tracks here on iRacing. There's so many different lanes. There's so many different sort of runs of momentum that you get from each lane that you run. Speaking of Mr. Lane, I see what I did there. How about it? Anthony Lane still sitting about that top 10 spot. He's got side by side up there in front of him. First round of it, Christoph Hall, John Holliday continuing to go at it. John, we saw a very nice run there just a week ago. John continues to have a nice run here tonight. His Toyota Camry, number 9. Man, look at this. No breakaways for the race lead here tonight from Chicagoland. Coming out the exit of 4, I continue to see Charles Van Schwick. He makes that inside line of the track work. I do wonder, though, is he burning off that right front, diving it down into the inside out the exit of turn number 4? And don't look now, but goodness gracious, every week, every race, oh, cameraman, look out! Every week, every race, we see Brandon Moore work his way up to the race lead. Brandon started 4th here tonight. 43 tied Chevrolet SS, looking like it's got some pretty damn good pace here tonight. Cameraman, I told you, look out! We got Third Musketeer down there in YouTube land. We got Zipper as well. I think that's Travis Farmer. Travis Farmer behind the wheel right now, saying, Third Musketeer saying, hi guys, good one, saying, it's so weird to see these NASCARs go underneath the apron, and that's why I mentioned this earlier. If you're kind of newer to well, at least mile and a half racing within the NASCAR universe here, that's why you continue to see Charles Van Schwick cut that apron. He tries to make the shorter track of the track of work here, but continuing to do that though, as we'll hop on board with him here. Front bumper cam. I honestly think that Charles Van Schwick, that right front, it's going to start begging for mercy as he's going to have contact with Brandon Moore. Brandon tried to get clear there on the entrance of 3. Not quite of it as we phased into Brandon Moore's rear bumper. Look at this, man. The driver of number 4, John Holliday, continues to fall. Continues to rise. That Austin Mice machine, McConey Setup Shop, number 97. We're hopping on board here. Third Musketeer, I think you're going to like this one here. I'm not sure if you're an avid iRacer yourself, but take a look as we're on board with Austin Mice. Look. Oh. Sean and Tanner Curse, we're going to call that. Caution's out right when I was about to start going into something deep there. Unfortunately, this is the WBLR Motorsports machine, number 94, going to be Willie B. Roberts. At least I'm showing in my timing and scorings that Willie B. Roberts is involved in this one. We'll take a look at this quick Stam Studio Network replay. Oh, Willie B. Roberts going to get a bit of a push there out of the front bumper of the 68 of Chris Campbell. Down a route is going to send Willie B. Roberts, but looks like he'll live to fight another day. Gets that puppy locked down instantly. Looks like nobody's going to hit him either. Willie B. Unfortunately, he's going to drop quite a few spots, but once again, going to live to fight another day. Here's another look at this race replay. So there's Anthony Lane up top, and then there's the Superflow machine Chevy SS. Just gets into the rear quarter panel. Oh, and then you see number 8 there of Samuel Blackwell III, just nowhere to go. Last look at the replay before we'll take a look at pit stops already ensuing here. This is something I was not expecting to see already. Hopping on board with Samuel Blackwell. A little bit of damage there. Doesn't look too cosmetic. All right, we'll have to see who wins the race off of pit lane. Here we go. Looks like it'll be Bud Shear. And look at the front end of that car get thrown up into the air as these Arca Menard series cars. I mean, these are basically the Gen 6 chassis that NASCAR works with. We're completely, if you follow the Bump and Run Cup series, we are up in the next gen chassis up there now. But I think that's pretty interesting and fun to watch. That it's kind of like a glimpse into a time machine, if you will, as we step back and look at these Arca Menard series races. Looks like Sean Judson is going to be the only driver to stay out up here. We're going to have Bud Shearer. He's going to lead him off pit lane. Charles Van Schwick, Xavier Salgado, Christoph Hall, man, newer racer with us here tonight. Christoph, he's going to sit in the top 5 spot. Samuel Blackwell sits 6th position. Brandon Moore, Austin Mice, Travis Farmer going to lose out a little bit of positions there on that pit stop. He'll start this race, restart 9th. John Holliday, Dale Rapp, Robert Chiswick, Paul Lawson, Anthony Lane, Willie B. Roberts, Kevin Roy, Chris Campbell, and Robert Armall. Still have all of our drivers on the field here tonight, still on the racetrack, and nobody down a lap just yet. My name is Sean Stam. We are on the road here to 1,000 subscribers on Stam Studio Network, and you best believe once we get there, I'll be treating you all to it here. We got some t-shirts cooking up, we got some koozies, some keychains, you name it, we're gonna have it here. Some SSN merch. I appreciate all the drivers, appreciate league owners, and most importantly, you guys down there live in YouTube land that are making this all possible tonight. Third Musketeer saying unfortunately doesn't have iRacing, but he does enjoy watching people go at it. Well, Third Musketeer, as well as anybody else watching live in YouTube land, or these drivers, I know lots of these drivers listen to the broadcast as we are about to get racing once again. You better strap in, folks. You're going to make sure you want to have that drink in your hands, that snack in the other hand. And I know I said it at the start of this race, but come on now. Get up, stand up for your life right now. You're not going to want to give up the fight. Just like Bud Shearer, we have seen time and time again this season. He's going to start out here up on the front row. Sean Judson's going to lead us through the gears. But remember that Toyota Camry, he's on older tires. Here we go. Green flag is out again. This time from Chicagoland Speedway. Sean Judson's got the field in his hands. He's going to slip up here in just a moment. Bud Shearer with an immaculate race restart. He's going to look and try the outside line here. Look at him fan out for second and third on back. 3 wide, we're going to start to look for 4th, 5th, and 6th, settling things back down to 2. Here we go. Does Charles Van Schwick make a move? He's going to have to do it quick here. Bud Shearer's going to drift up the racetrack. Sean Judson, matter of fact, leading this first lap. I didn't think that was going to happen. I didn't think Sean did either. 3 wide for the battle for second place. Charles Van Schwick. Keep watching the 23 here tonight. I don't think he's going to leave the bottom of the track. Sure, you do have that speed. You do have that momentum up in the top lane, as look at the run that Xavier and the 43 of Brandon Moore get on the top side. But doing that, you continue to leave that bottom side line open. That's the more kind of preferred lane of the racetrack there, as I don't think it is off the apron there, off start-finish line. Man, oh man, Brandon Moore, I don't know if you caught it there as I was jabbling on. He's got himself in the meat of the sandwich here. 3 wide. Travis Farmer is up top. Travis, he let me know that, hey Sean, I don't know if I have it here tonight for these guys in the Bump and Run ARCA Super Series League. Travis Farmer, he's keeping his foot in it, running the outside line, damn near the Larson line here tonight. Coming up to lap 20, only 1 caution, something we've come to expect within the Bump and Run Series races. Ooh, we're gonna trade some paint there for between the 43 and 23. Brandon Moore still trying to make the middle line work. He's gonna cross the seam, almost make contact with Bud Shearer. Look at Sean Judson's Toyota Camry go up out in front. Here we go. Where we stop, nobody knows. Christoph Paul, how about Xavier Salgado? What about John Holliday? He started up here within the 6th spot. He's still flirting with disaster, diving down that inside line. Advanced Sim Racing, number 9, Toyota Camry. He's gonna have Dale Rapp. Willie B. Roberts, where did he come from? Where did he go? Looks like Cotton Eye Joe. Willie B. is all the way back up to 10th place. Anthony Lane has this battle starting to ensue out of his front windscreen. We'll hop on board with Mr. Lane here. Oh, almost contact there with the outside of Anthony Lane. Third Musketeer, no kidding. If this was overdrive, we would be 12 cautions deep here. And you know, that's pretty scary to me because just starting up to here tomorrow, Third Musketeer, I'm going to have back-to-back broadcasts. It's a little bit scary with that Overdrive Cup Series. Respectfully, I mean, the drivers have speed, they have pace, but we're here to pace. Excuse me, we're here to race, not pace. Don't clip that one. Speaking of race, not pace, we're continue to run under green flag conditions. Austin Mice, last time we checked on the Mice McConey setup shot machine, he was up there flirting with that top 4 spot. Here comes the run out of the cannon, back down the back straightaway. What happened to Charles Van Schwick? He's gonna drop down to P4. Look at Travis Farmer, K&N Filters machine go. Oh no, Xavier Salgado drifts up, completely misses the apex. Here comes 2 Silver Fox racing machines. One of them's gonna be Dale Rapp, tries to make the Van Schwick line work. Dale dives it down there, hoping it sticks into 1-2. No slide job yet. How about Sean Judson though? Once again, driver who's still not pit yet. We are running at 70% fuel here tonight. 4 tire sets available. If this does turn into an overdrive caution fest here for the driver who we hop on board, Sean Judson, he saves a set early on. All right, I think you all know what time it is here. I love the fans. The first subscriber is just as important there as the 747th. Tell your neighbor, tell your grandma. We're getting on our way up to 1,000 subs here. Charles Van Schwick is going to try and dive it down the inside line once again as he drops all the way back down to 4th position here. He's going to, oh my goodness, drifted up the racetrack. Tires getting killed on the Van Schwick machine. We're going to start to look 3 and 4 wide here from Chicagoland Raceway. Sean Judson, now that he's in the dirty air back here in the pack, just not going to have the grip, just not going to have the pace in that number 19 Toyota Camry. All right, as I was saying there before, I was rudely interrupted by 3 and 4 wide racing. Just kidding. You drivers continue to put it out here. Elbows out in the bump and run Cup Series racing. You can't get much cleaner racing than it, though. Goodness gracious, I gotta catch my breath up here in the booth. Everybody enjoy the sights and sounds here tonight from Chicagoland Speedway. This is your your only chance here. Crank this puppy down because look at that, man. 43 tied Chevrolet SS up to the race lead. And look at Dale Rapp. He's starting to beat and bang his way up to the 2nd position. Man, you got to pay a little bit there for Bud Shearer. Travis Farmer finally. I was right there with Travis. I love running the top lane here, Chicagoland. You got the speed, you got the momentum. Bud Shearer's got contact here, heavy contact. He's going to go outside in the hard outside safer barrier. Bud not happy. You can hear him trying to rev that engine back up, seeing if there's any sort of life left in it to get it back down and around to pit lane 93. Hard damage there after some pretty significant contact. We'll try and find the old Stam Studio Network look at the race replay here. Hopefully not more than just Bud was involved here, because we had quite a few drivers up there battling pretty hard for position. Okay, well, we're going to have to back this puppy up. Apologies here. Hang with us. Hang with us. Oh, don't tell me it was the old Silver Fox machine. 2 Silver Fox racing machines at it. Bud is already out of the throttle on the exit. That's where this run from Anthony Lane comes from. Bud, he tries to block it, though. He's not clear. He's not clear because he's 3 wide, not even just 2. Look at Bud go. It's going to send him right around. We'll have to see if anybody else gets involved here. Very nice work. No ARCA braking from these ARCA Bump and Run Super Series drivers here tonight. That's very nice work, but you gotta hate it if you're a Bud Shearer fan. Real quick before we get a look at, oh man, Travis Farmer lucked out there too. His bottom of 3. We're gonna hop on board here, well, one more time, as just how vicious things can get here, even within the iRacing universe. All right, everybody down into pit lane. Looks like, how about it? Charles Van Schwick's going to lead them all off of pit lane. Brandon Moore is going to come in with close P2 off of the pits. Here comes Dale Rapp. Perfect timing for Dale Rapp. John Holliday, Samuel Blackwell's pit stops. Ooh, Travis Farmer, he's going to drop down to at least P6 here within this cycle. Anthony Lane, Christoph Hall, Xavier Salgado, Chris Campbell, Kevin Roy, Sean Judson, Robert Chiswick, Bud Shearer. Oh man, Bud down to 14th after that incident. Paul Lawson, Willie B. Roberts, Austin Mice, and Robert Armal rounding out the 18 driver field with us here tonight. My name's Sean Stam. Thanks for joining in on Stam Studio Network. We'll be right back with you here on SSN. Welcome back here, Stam Studio Network. You got Sean Stam back here behind the scenes, producing, directing, and commentating up the storm here tonight. We got YouTube chat popping off. Third Musketeer, Terry is in there as well. Third Musketeer saying, boys and girls, that is what rear view mirrors were invented for. I'm right there with you. Let me know down there, Third, as well as Terry, if the old audio levels are A-okay. Had a GT3 stream earlier on, and man, had some technical difficulties going on there, but I think we're all past them tonight. Nobody's begging for mercy here. Nobody's ears are bleeding, so gonna keep things moving and grooving here. Second caution of cause on the speedway, but once again, you blink, you're having fun. We're already 22 minutes down in this race. Gonna get the green flag this time by. Robin and Renee say hey. Hey, appreciate that, Robin and Renee, and thank you for letting me know everything is sounding A-okay. The old audio levels are perfect, says the old Third Musketeer. Here we go, iRacing safety pace car. I don't blame him. Gonna dive into the safety of pit lane. Look at the lights out here at Chicagoland Speedway in a few moments time, but right now, Brandon Moore, Dale Rapp, on the throttle, up and through the gears we go, heading into turn number 1. These starts are going to continue to get even more aggressive here. Sure, the first start as well as the second race restart were pretty cordial, but look at this. We're going to continue to see these drivers make every single run for their money. We're going to continue to see elbows out. The later on in this race, the more aggressive we're going to see. John Holliday dives it down into turn number 3. And look at that. No drivers running below the apron this time by. That's because we don't have Charles Van Schwick up here in the battle for the race lead anymore. Charles Van Schwick drops to P16. Here we go. Battle 3 wide. Once again, it's going to be battle for 5th. 68 already had contact once today. This time contact with the outside wall. Oh no, tire going down. It looks like front end's going to magically reappear though. Chris Campbell all the way up the battle for what could have been the race lead. He's going to drop down back to P18 he goes. Up here at Christoph Hall, Anthony Lane, team owner for Silver Fox Racing. How about it? Anthony Lane tries to find this battle up here for the 6th and 7th spot. He's going to be putting the meat of the sandwich. Back to 2 wide we go. Well, look, 3 heading into 3. Sean Judson finally on some strategy here tonight. Remember, driver number 19, Toyota Camry, he's got a tire set save if this turns into the Overdrive Cup Series race with caution after caution after caution. Will we see Sean Judson's strategy play a factor here tonight? Battles all over the racetrack. Look out, Mr. Cameraman, coming at you once again. How about that? Will we see Travis Farmer, after telling me he didn't have the knowledge, he didn't have the pace? Guess what? You don't need it here from Chicagoland. At least that's what Travis Farmer's trying to prove. 3 wide for the race lead. Oh my goodness, boys, we got 60 laps to go. These drivers fighting like it's the last lap here tonight. Look at Christoph Hall. Look at Sean Judson joined the battle as well. Oh my goodness, K&N Filter, Travis Farmer machine, how about it? Will we see him lead lap number 40? It looks like it, but here comes the 43. That was dead even at the line this time by. Who's going to get the speed? Who's going to get the momentum? Right now, Sean Judson's trying to help out Christoph Hall though. As these drivers look towards that outside line, sure, it's the further way around, but you got the speed, you got the draft to help you with that momentum heading up into turn number 3. Here comes John Holliday as he's going to lose quite a few spots after this race restart. I appreciate you all joining in here tonight on Stam Studio Network. You're not going to want to miss a thing, and if you're joined in on the vertical broadcast, get yourself over to the horizontal broadcast stat, because we have 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 through the whole race pack here at the Bump and Run ARCA Super Series. Christoph Hall, 98, he looks up the mountain here as Brandon Moore, shot out of a cannon, goes to lead lap number 42 this time by, but don't count out that hard charging, that driver, one the only K&N Filters, Travis Farmer, dives it down the inside once again over Brandon Moore, door corner clear, 4-0, no, 13, he had the chance to slip up and block him. That is Travis Farmer, that is the racecraft, that is the competitiveness here between the 13 and 43. Travis is known for not making any dumb moves. Travis is going to make the smartest moves here tonight on the racetrack as he is going to lead the draft heading into turn number 1. As we hop on board of Charles Van Swick, driver who's already worked his way back up to the 5th running position here tonight after restarting in the 16th running position. Here comes Charles Van Swick. He's able to roll the speed, roll the momentum, even on the bottom side of the racetrack. Here comes Charles Van Swick up to P3, and I don't know if Charles Van Swick is the right driver to talk about it here. We'll hop on board with Robert Armall. Take a look as we hop on board at the 77. You want to get that at least one headlight in a little bit of clean air. Looks like that's what we saw there for the entrance of turn 1, not really out of turn number 2, but as iRacing simulates the speed, as iRacing has physics that cannot be beat, you're going to want to try and get yourself into that clean air if you're running behind a car here. As we run 3 wide for the race lead, Sean Judson, his eyes are just wide as can be right now, I imagine. Man, oh man, Charles Van Swick out of nowhere. Travis Farmer runs the outside seam this time, going to leave the inside open for hard charging W energy, Sean Judson. Real quick before I enter Third Musketeers chats here, once again, if you're just now joining in, make sure you bump that quality of this broadcast up tonight. There's a little gear icon in the top right or bottom right of your screen. You can bump the quality up here tonight, 1440p. See the whites of these drivers' eyes pass by us here from the start-finish stretch. Third Musketeer saying, Sean, are there Gen 4 and Gen 5 Cup cars within iRacing? There's definitely some Gen 4. I believe that's a little bit of Gen 5, but all that everybody runs here, and the official series there, Third Musketeer, it's just ARCA and then Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup. There, you do have a little bit of leagues here on your side, a little bit of side-by-side there in the back of the pack. You do have some leagues that will run the older cars, as well as their, I misspoke, there is one more Gen 4 official series, but other than that, man, if you're looking for some historical NASCAR racing action within the sim, you're gonna have to find a league, but don't just look for any league. You have to find a league that's just like this. Drivers with the speed, with the racecraft of one another. Man, how about Robert Armall, Silver Fox Racing, driver 77, 3 spots gained since the drop of the green flag here tonight. Robert, he is well within striking distance, not only the race lead, but I'm most certainly confident within a top 5 finish. Robert sits P10 right now. Whoa, we are halfway there. Drivers, race fans alike, we're living on a prayer. I'll tell you what, take my hands, we'll make it, I swear. Oh boy, here come these drivers living on a prayer across the start-finish line. Charles Van Schwick leads us across the halfway point. Go ahead, sights and sounds once again here tonight from Chicagoland Speedway. Crank this puppy up. Your one and only final warning, crank this puppy back down. We have 3 wide here. I'm about to be screaming, so better be hard on that down arrow on your controller, because look at that. Oh, I'm trying to hold off. Travis Farmer gets a little tight there heading into turn 1. Has to concede the spot. Man, oh man, Sean Judson. I think this is our driver to watch here tonight. He has made that strategy call work, so he's playing with a little bit of insurance as we start to approach caution country, you could call it. Third Musketeer, I don't know if you caught that within our crank it up section there, but I was about to call that the old Third Musketeer curse there, because, okay, that one doesn't roll off the tongue as well of Sean and Tater curse. But look at this. Here's the incident that we saw right in front of our eyes there as we were on the onboard shot. Xavier Salgado, he makes a little bit of contact. We'll take another look at it here. Apologies, things are just so close and tight. We'll get back to racing. Here comes Xavier Salgado. He makes a bead here up on Sean Judson's rear end and then dives it down the inside. Sean Judson, the driver, with contact here. Oh man, he keeps the left in the wheel cranked, and then look at that. What in the Sean Judson was that, boys and girls? Apologies for the, I hate doing this here, but it just saves me so much time. Look at Sean Judson. He knew he's down at the bottom. Sean coming down off of the safer barrier. Just gonna, that's all the contact that it takes to send Xavier Salgado right down and around. Man, goodness. I know I was trying to set out the old Sean Judson there machine. He spells it, I will say, the one and the only right way out of, what, 4 or 5 different possible spelling combinations there. So a Sean to a Sean. We could possibly see, what is this, 2 weeks in a row? Could it even be 3 weeks in a row for a top 3 spot for that number 19 Toyota Camry? Here he comes. He's going to try the inside line this time. Down and around Christoph Hall there. Looks like he's almost clear. Still side by side up for the second running position here. You got to be careful if you start running side by side, because all that's doing is just presenting you to fall further and further away from our race leader. Be smart here, boys. Long way to go, long time to get there. These drivers are going to show us what they say can't be done here tonight. Had to think about that one. Hey, Willie B. Roberts, after that early spin in the race, started P7, works his way back up to P7. Look at that, lap 5.9 coming to 60 this time by. Blink and you miss it. Here I think we have quite a bit of fun on Stam Studio Network. Third Musketeer saying, got to stop. Commentator cursing people there. Man, I am right there with you. And Kevin Roy. No commentator curse here tonight, or hopefully not. Keep it on the bottom there, Kevin. This is a driver we haven't mentioned too much here tonight. I think first time we've chatted about him, but driver there out of New Hampshire. That's a Plainstow. Driver in there, number 12, Ryan Blaney. Sits 11 spots gained since the drop of the green flag, our biggest mover since the drop of that green flag. Bud Shearer, remember, he was up here in the battle for the race lead earlier on. He's going to lose out quite a few spots. He fell back to what was the rear end of this race restart here. Oh, man, but he whipped the wheel there, trying to get the side draft working, thinks better of it. These drivers now, Bud going to get in front of him, but here comes Willie B. Roberts and Brandon Moore down around 2 wide, heading into 1 and 2. Everybody on the same pit stop strategy here tonight. Charles Van Swick, who leads, is, matter of fact, I'll make this easier. Charles Van Swick, who leads, is who last pitted on lap. Oh, that's the lap time differential between Christoph Hall. And I'm kind of glad that I accidentally clicked that pop-up here, because look at the back and forth. It's a little bit of green, it's a little bit of red, looking like Christmas time right there. Faster, slower, faster, faster, and then slower once again, lap 61. Okay, here we go. Apologies there. If you take a look at the right side of your screen, that is the pit stop lap between these drivers. Van Swick, last pit on lap 34. Christoph Hall, pit. Oh my God, that is a mistake of the ages. Christoph Hall, hopefully not needing to find the bathroom here tonight. Man, he's up there P2, pit on lap 33. Basically everybody else except there, back to Bud Shearer, all pitting on lap 33. So, long story short, same strategy, same story here tonight within basically, yeah, our top 17 drivers. Comes some more side by side. Austin Mice, Kevin Roy. We've seen a little bit of flashes of life here tonight for the 97 McConey setup machine, but McConey setup shot machine. But right now, man, Kevin Roy. I don't know what they did to this Ford Mustang last time under the pit stop there, but goodness gracious, the Monster 7 machine, man. Kevin, matter of fact, looking at the last lap time here, let's see. 31.41. That's only 0.2 of a second slower than our race leader, Charles Van Swick's fastest lap time. Sure, the gap to P1 and 2 right now is 0.5 of a second, but it's starting to heat up and broil here, especially between Sean Judson and, what was Travis Farmer. Travis, another driver. We've seen him up on the top side of the mountain here tonight. We've seen him trying to dive it down to the bottom, cut the shortest distance of the racetrack down, out, and around. Travis Farmer still sits P5, top 5 running spot here tonight. Say that's here tonight, but pretty much all running here tonight for Travis Farmer. Really nice run here for the 13 K&N machine. Man, Brandon Moore, once again, this driver found his way up to the battle for the race lead earlier on. Untimely caution, or if it was a, let's see here. Brandon Moore, last pit on, lap 33, so just fell all the way back through the pack there. He continues to work his way up, though. Driver with quite a few wins this season. We're only lap 65 out of 100. at least without another caution right now. I don't know about you guys and gals down there in YouTube land, that YouTube chat, but I would say probably number 43 is out for a out of the contention for a race win today. Is that Kevin subbing in for Chapman? Why is he 7th? Or is that Lawson? And I'm just, okay, well, no, don't put that on yourself there, Musketeer. Let's see. Hang on. Oh, well, what timing on that, Paul? That's Paul Lawson there. That will correct the conspiracies, I guess you'd call it, for lack of a better word right now. Man, oh man. Working overtime up here in the old broadcast booth. Paul Lawson, there you see it. Driver at number 7 makes his way down into the pit lane. I didn't think we would see necessarily green flag pit stops. Not before this race started, but I mean after the start of this race. I thought that this race was going to be so clean. Even with the 2 cautions that we have had, I thought that even with 70% fuel that these drivers would be able to make it. I'm apparently showing right now not. My math is not mathin'. This is why I am in business school and not an engineer or mathematician there up there at the old T State University, because I race. I do not run the calculators. Anyways, Sean Judson, we're going to have to see where this all cycles out here, because pit stops are open. Austin Mice, Willie B. Roberts, John Holliday, Dale Rapp, Anthony Lane, Chris Campbell are all in. Here comes another Silver Fox Racing driver. Oh man, okay, I'm glad we got that for John Holliday. I'll talk about that in a few moments' time, because that was Chris Campbell, as well as, there you go, Dale Rapp, who's into pit lane. As you saw that little slight catch of neutral and then reverse for John Holliday, that's why green flag pit stops are so important, because you miss your marks by even the closest margins, you miss your marks by a millimeter, that results in seconds back here as we work our way back up to speed. We're going to have to see where Travis Farmer here, there you see down and into pit lane, you see him on the track map. We're going to have to see where everything cycles out here, as now we see our race leader, Charles Van Schwick, into pit lane. Here comes Bud Shear. He leaded earlier on in the race, but he still has to make his pit stop, or is he just possibly gambling on a caution to come out right here? There goes, that's the difference of newer tires right there. Paul Lawson down and around the inside of what is our race leader now, Bud Shear. Door quarter clear. Paul gets his lap back with that move. Looks like Bud Shear down and into the pits. Here comes, looks like that's Charles Van Schwick we were looking at there. There comes Bud Shear. I knew I was calling that one. Looks like Brandon Moore, Kevin Royce, Christoph Hall, Travis Farmer have all made their pit stops. So here we go. It's where all things cycle out here. Looks like Brandon Moore's going to pass him by. This driver, Brandon Moore, he made the early pit stop work. He's going to carry the speed. He's going to carry the momentum around. How many times have we seen this season for Brandon Moore? I go back on that statement, actually. I recall that. We have seen Brandon Moore make the long runs work, but this time Brandon Moore, he surprises us all in the production trailer. Driver number 43, he makes the short run stop. Will we see him have enough fuel? Did he pack enough Sunoco fuel in that fuel tank, or does Charles Van Schwick start to find the speed? Does he find a little bit of fresher rubber that he has underneath him with his general tires? Does he have enough speed, enough pace to get his way back and around our race leader, our new race leader, Brandon Moore? Here comes Austin Mice, Travis Farmer, Kevin Roy. Remember, these drivers were all going at it just a couple laps ago before the pit stop cycle. Kevin Roy continues to be our biggest mover here on the racetrack, continuing to sit 11 spots gained since the drop of the green flag. Travis Farmer continues to search around this racetrack. Travis is going to search a little bit too high that time, gets in the dirty part of the track. I don't think the extreme high line, even 74 laps down, is just quite ready to go. Travis, a little bit of scrape on that right side, but here we go. Back to the battle for the race lead. Brandon Moore, he had made the short runs work, but here comes Charles Van Schwick. He's able to work his way back up to that rear bumper. He's got the speed. He's got the draft. He has the momentum heading into turns 3 and 4. Charles Van Schwick, he has the clean air as well. Will we see it move? Oh, not this time by, but we've seen it lap after lap after lap. Charles Van Schwick dives it down to the inside. Here we go once again. How many times are we going to say it here tonight? Charles Van Schwick, the GOAT Lives Matter machine. Oh, he's not clear. Get back out of it. He has to put even more left wheel into it. 23, 43, side by side, heading into turn number 3. Oh, who drifts up? Who loses the speed? Who loses the momentum? Because don't look now. Here comes Christoph Hall. Christoph, he is the shark that smells blood in the water right here, side by side in front of Christoph Hall. That presents a huge hole in the air for the number 98. Good gracious, I know I say don't look now, but as we continue to look side by side for the race lead, Christoph Hall continuing to reel him in here. Austin Mice, he is that's Austin Mice, 3.4 seconds back right now. So even with that little bit of lap traffic, I would say this is a battle for the ages. This is a battle for the win, only within the top 3 runners. Here we go, Charles Van Schwick, he's able to get by Brandon Moore. Brandon Moore, did he use his tires up too soon? That 43, remember, pitted about 3 laps earlier than our front 2 runners. Now that he is down there within the dirtier air once again, don't be surprised if you start to see Brandon Moore start to search on both corner entry, corner exit. Get that at least one. Come on, Brandon, give me one headlight out here. Get yourself some more grip, some more drive off the corner, heading into turn number 2. Look at that. This Sean and Taylor knows what he's talking about tonight. Been on the oval track one too many times. Brandon Moore is looking for that speed there as he gets the clean air on the front nose. He's able to find it, dive it down into turn number 3 and 4. This time, left front headlight, still trying to search for some cleaner air. Hopping on board with Brandon Moore now. Look at the run. He gets down the start-finish straight. The draft helps you on the start-finish straight and down the back straightaway, but I think it hurts you in the corners. Let us know down there in Race YouTube chat. Here we go. So I thought it was going to be Christoph Hall. Looks down the outside, but no, he's going to think better of it. Lives to fight another day. 21 laps to go this time by. Let us know, third. Let us know, Terry. Let us know, anybody else watching right now on Stam Studio Network, who gets it done tonight. Brandon Moore, just 3 laps ago, got passed for the race win. Here we go. Still going to look side by side. Remember, with these drivers starting to side draft one another within the corners, look at Brandon Moore. He's starting to draw a bead on this race lead. Brandon slips it there coming out of turn number 4. Gonna try to dive it down to the bottom of the apron, try to work with it, whatever slipstream, whatever sort of draft he is given off of the rear end of the 23 of Van Schwick, as well as Christoph Hall. Christoph, newer name within the bump and run ARCA Super Series Racing. Driver out of Pensacola, 22 oval wins on iRacing. This is a driver that's a fan of the 98 Chevrolet and the, excuse me, I'm not sure if he's telling us he's a fan of the 98 Chevy or if he drives a 98 Chevy. Well, okay. I completely, oh no. Okay, he's talking about his driver number, not the year. Anyways, here we go. Does the number 98. Yep, there, I got that one good that time. Bye. Hopping on board with that 98 Chevy here. He's got a 0.2 of a second gap over Brandon Moore behind. He botched turn 1 right there. Look at the speed. Look at the run. He loses to race leader Charles Van Schwick. Van Schwick, after restarting in P16 or 17, back to the race lead. As we approach our Stam Studio Network, 18 laps to go. Real quick, we have to thank the sponsors and affiliates up there in the top right who make this all possible. Alpha One Foundation, Admin Box, Extreme Scoring, Bearded Bear Custom Hides, as well as Mad Doggy Graphics. We're about to see some in for the battle for the race lead. Hall, Van Schwick, who gets it done here tonight? The top 3 have broken away, says Third Musketeer. I'm right there with you. But who gets it done within these top 3? I think it's a toss-up here. I don't even count out Brandon Moore. Sure, his tires are older, but he's retaining within striking distance within this race lead. 3-car breakaway for first, second, third. 3-car breakaway for, looks like fourth, fifth, and, oh, well, that's actually the 7 machine. God, you got a feel for Paul Lawson there. He had to pit and ended up going down a lap at this point. But some more side-by-side, man. Travis Farmer, he has thrown it all out here tonight, letting these drivers know, even if it's a track that he doesn't feel the most comfortable on, that number 13 K&N Chevrolet SS will continue to fight it out on here tonight. Robert Chiswick, Anthony Lane starting to go a little side by side on their side. Anthony Lane to P15, Robert Chiswick to P14. Robert's gained 4 spots since the drop of the green. Anthony loses 6. He's trying to gain at least one of those spots back here. 2 different manufacturers trying to put it to one another. Oh, Anthony Lane's gonna scrape the outside wall coming out of 4. 15 laps to go. Hopping on board of the Silver Fox Racing team owner, Anthony Lane. You're going to put a little bit more left wheel input to try and beat up a run here down the back straightaway. Look, he's got a little bit of run forming for him here. Draws the bead, doesn't make the move here into turns number 3 and 4. I don't fault him for it. It is so hard to make it stick here, especially on tires that are as old as they are here. Anthony Lane says, hey, here, buddy, step aside. I'll show you how it's done. Even on older, well, excuse me. Okay, that's 2 lap newer tires than Robert Chiswick there. But if we do see Anthony Lane start to draw in Robert Armal there, reel in that Silver Fox Racing driver, that's Robert Armal has 2 lap newer tires than Anthony Lane. So even though a little bit tire differential here tonight, we're continuing to see some very nice pace within these Silver Fox Racing drivers. Bud Shearer, oh, look at it. Anywhere you look here tonight, they're just out here battling it out for the ages here from Chicagoland. Dale Rapp, another Silver Fox Racing driver, trying to send it down there on the inside of Bud Shearer. Bud, remember, got spun. Well, I wouldn't say got spun. He was involved in an incident, whether it was his own doing or not earlier on in the race. Bud's going to fall back here to P9, just not really able to work his way back up through the race pack and track is not only I, but I think everybody down there in YouTube land was thinking so. Looks like 52, Dale Rapp. He's going to get a little loose there on the exit of 2. Keeps it out the quarter panel of the Bud Shearer machine. Battle up here for the race lead. It's not only heating up here, boys and girls. It is starting to broil here between Charles Van Schwick, Christoph Hall, Brandon Moore. Look at this. This doesn't tell the story. Charles Van Schwick, la-di-da, just cruising his own land. Nope, you would think so, but if you pan the camera back there just like we did, here comes Christoph Hall, 0.3 seconds back, and look at Brandon Moore. He is still not out of this battle for the race win here tonight. He's trying to shove that goat locker racing machine up into his teammate there, Charles Van Schwick. The only reason I say that is because as we hop on board with Brandon Moore, you can see that goat locker racing die-cast livery. The sticker on the rear bumper of the 98 of Christoph Hall. That changes the game completely here tonight. Even if Christoph Hall does get within striking distance of our race leader, the fastest car on track here tonight, Charles Van Schwick, I don't think we definitely won't see anything nefarious go on. 2 teammates, even though different manufacturers, they're definitely starting to make the dream work here tonight. Go. Does Brandon Moore have that move down the inside? Look at him set up turn 3 from about a mile back down the straightaway. Looking like he knows what he's doing, though, as he's going to get a little bit closer to Christoph Hall's rear bumper here as we head our way back into turn number 1. Real quick, here's another Silver Fox Racing battle. Robert Armal, Anthony Lane, side by side heading into turn number 3. That Brandt back straightaway, I know it's only the first time I talk about it here tonight, but that back straightaway, it's not overly all that straight. A little bit of a curve in that back. So you're gonna have to, goodness gracious, that threw my that threw me for a loop. Anyways, back to it. Even with that curve, you have to compromise for that. You can't be running that wheel straight on the back straightaway. Let's look. We'll hop on board with the live driver cam here. See, as we hop on with Robert Armand, he had just a little bit, probably 2 to 3 degrees of left within that steering wheel down the back straightaway, keeping that right rear quarter panel off the wall. Goodness gracious, Robert Armand, Anthony Lane, Robert Chiswick going side by side up there. We started to form some 3 wide like a tornado up there in Hurricane Alley. Man, we'll settle it back down to 2, thankfully so. Here comes one, the only 20. Oh man, Xavier Salgado, really fast driver here tonight as well. That Toyota Camry machine really just pancakes the outside wall heading out of turn number 2 as he tries to say, I have places to be. Oh, you heard him get out of the gas there. That got close for the 77, as well as, I believe that was Anthony Lane. Yep, Anthony Lane's going to look, try to force it 3 wide, settles it back down to 2, down at the middle seam of the track. So we head up here to the battle for really second place is starting to heat up. Look at the different seams here, especially within this camera shot. Oh, okay. No one I can blame that one on my own as I am directing, producing, and commentating. But you look, you can still sort of see the seams. You cross over one of those seams in the exit, and that'll really just shoot you up the racetrack. As you matter of fact just saw it out of the 43 machine. Couldn't really hold it down to the bottom of the line as these tires continue to grow older. They continue to grow some gray hairs. I'm getting gray hairs up in the booth here watching these battles. Inches apart, just 4 laps to go. Do these drivers have enough fuel to make it to the end of the race, as well as, well, do they have enough cleanliness, you could call it, to make it to the end as well? We have side by side up and down the racetrack. Here's Dale Rapp, Bud Shearer, Samuel Blackwell starting to go at it here once again. Coming to 3 laps to go. Battle for side by side for second is also starting to heat up. We'll take a quick look at it. Brandon Moore, 43. Christoph Hall. Oh, we got lap traffic in the way. Move it or lose it here. 68, Chris Campbell, rightfully so, gets out of the way. Oh no, 98, way out of the seam. Christoph Hall, Toyota Camry in the outside wall. That may have been all we needed to see for Brandon Moore to solidify his second place running spot here tonight, because up front, Charles Van Swick, he is just begging. He is trying so hard right now to get to a white flag. He does not want to see a yellow flag come out here. 23 GOAT Lives Matter machine. If you're looking to have a die cast made, whether it's custom or whether it's just a normal NASCAR driver in of itself, I can tell you right now, Lionel Racing diecast, complete, abysmal, trash quality. GOAT Locker Racing diecast, Charles Van Swick drives for him. That is where you're going to get the quality for your race diecast. He does custom, he does normal NASCAR diecast. Charles Van Swick, he has 2 more turns to go to make this all official from Chicagoland. Charles Van Swick. This isn't race 1. This isn't race 2. This isn't race 3. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's race number 4 or 5 win here tonight for Van Swick. Number 23 to victory lane at Chicagoland Speedway. Here comes Dale Rapp, Bud Shearer, Samuel Blackwell side by side out of turn number 3. This is for 9th, 10th, and 11th. Oh, Dale Rapp, hang on to her. Samuel Blackwell down the inside. Oh, give it to Dale Rapp. Top 10 spot, just barely. Looks like 0.09 seconds separating Bud Shearer and Dale Rapp at the line. Battles all over the racetrack. Charles Van Swick's going to come away with the race win here tonight. Burn it down, burn it down. Christopher Hall, Brandon Moore, Kevin Roy, Austin Mice, Travis Farmer, Sean Judson, Willie B. Roberts, Bud Shearer, and Dale Rapp rounding out the top 10. Stick with us here on Stam Studio Network. I'll get the rest of them rounded out here as we listen to Charles Van Swick absolutely burn this puppy down. Well deserved for the GOAT Lives Matter machine. right, welcome in Fluky86. We have a new Pit Pass member down here in STAM Studio Network. Congratulations, Charles Van Schwick, on, goodness, another race win here in the Bump and Run ARCA Super Series. And Fluky86, welcome into the STAM Studio Network Pit Pass. We are starting to very slowly start to grow the members here on STAM Studio Network. Right now, the only two with us are Ashley as well as, man, right there, Fluky86. Fluky, we appreciate that, man. Let us know who you want to hear from down in the live YouTube land, and we'll get your driver interviewed here in a few moments' time on STAM Studio Network. Also, stick with us here. We'll bring the top 3 interviews as well here to you in just a few moments' time. Congratulations once again, Charles Van Schwick, Christoph Hall, and Brandon Moore, our podium finishers here tonight. Take a look at the unofficial official. Yes, unofficial official. That's qualifying. There we go. Unofficial official race results here tonight. Charles Van Schwick, of course, the GOAT racing machine, going to bring it home P1. Christoph Hall, Brandon Moore, rounding out our final driver interview spots. And unless, you know, Fluky86, great race saying, you know what, Sean? The old Andy White. Another great broadcast. I got you there. Appreciate that once again, Fluky, and I'll bring Andy White here into the top 3 interviews in a few moments' time. Austin Mice rounds out the top 5. Travis Farmer. How about Sean Judson? Led a few laps here tonight. Covered Bridge Racing brings it home P7. Willie B. Roberts, Bud Shearer, Dale Rapp, Samuel Blackwell III, John Holliday, Anthony Lane, Robert Armal, Robert Chiswick, Chris Campbell, Xavier Salgado, and Paul Lawson rounding out the 18 driver field here tonight. Alrighty, hey Charles, man, you got yourself a copy of the Sean Stam down here live in Victory Lane.
Yeah, got a copy.
Alrighty, man, how about it? Walk us through your race here tonight, and what happened there on that, I believe it was second race restart. You had to start back there, not first, not second, but what was that, like, you had to start there back 16th, 17th?
Yeah, I was having issues with the Dre system, not putting gas in it and that kind of stuff, so I changed in my INI to put nothing on, and I came down the pits and didn't put anything on. So I stopped in the pits and it said, go, 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 like a split set, and I'm like, ah, crap. All right, so I gotta go all the way around, put tires on it and gas, but, you know, it kind of helped a little bit that the leaders didn't put tires on, so I was able to work my way up and pass them.
Oh, that was a lot of fun to watch you work your way up and through the field. Like a little Connor Zillitz action real quick before we get back to your interview. Goodness, I'm not sure if you guys caught that, but we hope Connor Zillitz is A-okay after his stumble off the top of the car in Victory Lane. No stumble here off the top of the car for Charles Van Schwick, though, in the virtual race world. Charles, man, who we shouting out, man? Is there anybody who all makes this possible for you?
Yeah, I mean, you for the great broadcast.
Woohoo!
There you go. I had to wait. And then, you know, Brian and the admins, you know, we had a low car count last week, brought some guys in, including one of the guy that finished seconds, one of my GOAT Racing diecast drivers, brought him in. We're going to have another one next week, and Ryan Cook. Thanks to Anthony for getting those guys in and getting them all squared away. And then to Brandon and Bud and Will and the guys in the chat. I mean, it's just... I don't care if I guess people can say because I'm winning, you know, yeah, of course he's having fun. It doesn't matter. I mean, Brian and Christoph are messing around, or Brandon and Christoph are messing around there, blocking at the end to get second and just laughing and having a good time. I mean, that's really what, you know, this whole sim is, or game is. I know that's a big argument, but, you know, just fun, all around fun. And obviously to my company, GOAT Racing Diecast, use GOAT Racing 23 for 5% off. I have a GOAT Racing driver in here now. You use GOAT Racing 98. That is Christoph's code, and that's how he gets any money. I don't think he's got one to use it yet, but I'll have a conversation with him later.
Well, Charles, I appreciate that. That goes a long way there, everything that you say behind the scenes. And have a great rest of your night, and congrats again on the win here. Way to burn it down, man. That could have possibly been burn out of the year right there.
Thank you.
Charles Van Schwick up here. Congrats once again. We got Christoph Hall, I do believe, down here live in all YouTube land. Or excuse me, Discord land, I guess it is. How about you? Christoph, you got yourself a copy?
Yes, sir, I got.
All right, man. Walk us through your race here tonight. It was a lot of fun to watch. I believe you're a newer driver here within the Bump and Run ARCA Super Series. What was your race here like tonight? Walk us through it. Lots of 2 and 3, a little 4 wide.
Yeah, this is my first race here in the ARCA Series. I used to race with in the BNR League years ago, back in the Cup and Xfinity Series, had Xfinity title actually years ago. But yeah, first race here, started 11th. It was overall good car and all that. Felt like could do whatever I really needed to do. Just got stuck up in traffic and needed to play it smart. Eventually got through everything, got up front, and knew I wasn't going to really be able to hold up a fight to Chuck, so just stayed behind him and was able to hold Brandon off, and it was a lot of fun.
Well, a little cookie cutter track like this, 1.5 miles. I think we've got a couple of them left here within the schedule. Really good schedule coming up here. Is there any sort of track that you're excited for, or are you just racing this a week at a time and just seeing what comes next?
Just seeing what comes next, just having fun, not really. Obviously came in probably too late for any points, so just coming out here for wins if one can arise.
That's great to hear there, Christoph. Unfortunately that you came in so late, but at least you'll be back here. There is a little season 2 for the ARCA Series. There we see you out of Pensacola real quick. That's one of my favorite places to visit there summertime. And other than that, is there anybody else who you'd like to thank and shout out?
Of course, you for the broadcast.
Woohoo!
Brian and all of them for the league and all that. Chuck for all the support that he does. Go check out goatracingdiecast.com. Use code 98 goatdiecast for for a little bit of help and all that. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Appreciate that, Christoph. Have a great rest of your night. And hey, once again, these aren't normal diecasts. These aren't Lionel. This is GOAT diecast here.
Oh yeah, these are custom. You can do all sorts of stuff with them.
Yeah, that's what I try to sell the old fans on here. You're paying for quantity or quality over quantity here, as well as yes, custom. Exactly. I don't know if you have any customs there, Christoph, but it's pretty cool to see your own race car up there on your shelf.
Yeah, not quite just yet, but I a lot of times have been doing paint schemes for the custom stuff. So.
Christoph, you keep up these great runs. I think it's just a matter of time till we see you in victory lane, and then shoot, you might have to order one of those customs.
Thanks, bud.
Thank you, man. Have a great rest of your night. Brandon Moore, we got you in here. I know it's a little bit of hit and miss in the old SSN driver booth. Brandon Moore, you got yourself a copy. Oh, boo. Okay. Fluky86, hang out there with us because I am trying to get Andy White's his attention right now over on Discord. So real quick before we get going, before I wrap this all up, we're going to take a look at a couple replays here. Everything at this point is unscripted, so if you've come for a real nice kind of cordial and real clean broadcast, you might want to make your way to the old bar section at this point because, I mean, really, we're just going to be breaking down at cautions at this point until I hear back from, or unless we run out of cautions. But Andy White, we're waiting on you, man. We got a fan who is now a member of Sam Studio Network who is wanting to hear from you live in YouTube land. So as I search for the last yellow here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. You're going to get completely unscripted, just nonsense here at this point. This is the last yellow flag, I do believe. Bud Shearer, he was involved in it. Nope, not Brandon Moore. See? Okay, well, bring out the old forklift here. This one didn't take long. Yeah, that was the 3 wide that caught one of our race contenders here out of it, Bud Shearer. He's sitting up at the top of 3. I'll let this play out here. At full speed there, Bud. He gets, yeah, see, caught that pretty good there last time I broke it down. Just not quite clear to come down on the track. Or, excuse me, in front of the white ARCA. Anyways, let's see here. Andy, but where are you? No! Okay, Fluky, hang on with us. We got a couple more cautions. All right, that's one. really, I think, what, 1 out of 3, 1 out of 2 tonight? All right, here's the second one. Looks like, I believe this is the one that Willie B. Roberts was involved in. Yep, okay, you see him spinning here. We'll have to back this up. Oh, this is the help out the rear end of the Superflow machine. There's the contact there. Man, it makes so much contact that we actually phased into the inside of the 68 Superflow machine of Chris Campbell. Here it is at speed. Excellent job, I will say, there out of Willie B. Roberts to lock that puppy down, out, and around. All right, any of you know that know Andy White, at him, call him, text him, whatever it might be here, as I'll flash the old race results up on the screen for one more time here tonight. Andy, last chance here, buddy. Congratulations once again to our top 3 every driver that made it out here tonight, as well as everybody in YouTube land. Thank you for cheering me on, Terry says. Travis down there in YouTube land. EBS731 Private says hello, Terry. Why is everybody saying hello, Terry? Did she win here tonight? No, Travis Farmer actually won the live YouTube chat. I don't know how that is because we actually saw a new member here tonight, but according to YouTube, Travis Farmer is going to take away the chat win. He takes away P1. Terry's going to take away second place. She comes home with the 75 XP. About, let's see, 45 back behind the zipper. We got Ted. I didn't even see he made his way down here live in YouTube land. Ted in the 3rd position down there at YouTube land. But I think we have to give it, at least in the chat, to Fluky86 here tonight. Newer Stamp Studio Network member. All right. Last chance here. Okay, no Andy White. Boo, boo. I'm sorry. I added him. I did everything I could. I apologize. But I appreciate you, Fluky. And before the start of the next bump and run race, I'll tell you what, we all get the old one on only Andy White machine. Appreciate you all for joining in here tonight. My name's been Sean Stam. Thanks you all. Tell your neighbors, tell your grandma, tell your grandpa. We're on the way to 1,000 subscribers. We're sitting at least before this race, 747. Appreciate you all. Have a great rest of your night and take care.